In this module, we're going to focus on the topic of qualifying prospects, and we're going to talk to you about why that's important, how it can help you to improve your sales results, and we will give you a process that you can implement immediately to help you to screen out the bad prospects. What is qualifying? Well, basically, qualifying a sales prospect is really assessing them in two key areas. First, you're basically sizing them up for how well they fit with what you have to offer, or that's what you should be doing when you're qualifying them. Do they even need what you sell? And if they do, actually looking then deeper, is it more of a want or is it more of a need? But then it's also looking at how likely they will be to purchase from you. Do they love what you have but have a zero possibility of ever spending any money with you? That's not real great. And you want to be able to get those prospects identified and disqualify them. You primarily perform qualifying in two ways, and it's really mainly in one way, which is, well, actually, the minor way that you might do some qualifying is by doing some research. There's a particular individual or company that you want to sell to. You might look them up without even spending any time prospecting to them, and you might be able to qualify them at a certain level in terms of identifying they're the right size or meet some of the criteria. So you might do that in performing some research, but the primary way that you qualify a prospect is when you're talking to them, asking them good questions. And we're going to arm you with a bunch of good questions to help you with qualifying here today. So this is really one of the most important steps of prospecting and being a salesperson. In fact, a lot of salespeople often say, if I could improve one area, I would want to be a better closer. And people always think that there's ways to become more persuasive in closing and more manipulative and persuasive. But the reality is that what we often do is we fall into the trap of selling to prospects that just really don't fit with what we have to offer. And there are good prospects out there, and we just waste valuable time talking to bad ones, and that time could have been spent finding the good prospects. And that wasted time is extremely valuable. You only have 40 hours in the work week. There's nothing you can do to add more hours to the week. I mean, you can work beyond 40 hours, but there's really only so many hours that you can spend interfacing with prospects, and every hour, every minute spent with a bad prospect is time wasted. And to be successful, you really want to get the most out of that valuable time. The other thing is that your control is somewhat limited, right? I mean, you can't bully a prospect into moving forward and force them to say yes. So you can't control the prospects that you talk to. And here's kind of a play on words here, if you can follow me. Let me take a step back. You can't control the prospects that you talk to, meaning you can't make them say yes. But what you can control are which prospects you talk to, meaning you can say, I'm gonna walk away from this prospect. So you can control that, and that can be very powerful, because if you are able to determine which prospects to walk away from and which prospects to walk towards and spend your valuable time with, that can improve. That is something that you can control, and being judicious in that area, and having scrutiny and having intelligence around your decision making can improve your results. It basically improves your deal management, your pipeline management. Those deals where you're at the last day of the quarter or the year, and your boss is pressuring you to close it harder, make it happen, and there's nothing you can do, and you feel like, oh, if you were only a better closer, and you can't close the deal. The reality is that if you were a better qualifier and you built, that would lead you to building a better and more healthy pipeline of better quality deals. You're not going to find yourself in that situation, because those deals will just close themselves. And really, closing should be the easiest thing that you do. The other thing is that knowledge is power in any aspect of life. And when you qualify prospects, you're going to be asking good questions. And when you ask good questions, you uncover valuable information, and that makes you a more powerful salesperson, managing the deal and whatnot. You're going to uncover pain. You're going to produce better leads. The last point here is that relationships are key. When you qualify a prospect, you're actually going to make a better impression because you're going to seem more polished. You're going to seem more respectful. You're going to, instead of you pushing your product, you're going to be asking them questions that show them that you respect their decision and not pushing something on them that they don't need. This is going to decrease their guardedness, help you to build rapport. So as you can see here, qualifying really positions you to be a much better salesperson than if you don't or you skip this step. Let's look at a qualified prospect versus an unqualified prospect, because this will kind of lay the groundwork for you to identify which prospects, or this will lay the groundwork for you to implement a system to qualify better. So let's look at a qualified prospect, and you'll notice there's an instruction here that says there needs to be a medium to strong level of in each of these four categories, meaning you need to be good, medium to good in these four areas. And the first one is the need to purchase. So someone actually needs to buy what you have, and an example of this might be their current system is breaking, so they must replace it with something else. Their current contract is expiring. They are making a move, and because of the move, they'll need to purchase something new. Those are examples of needs. You want to kind of separate the needs from wants. If we just bought a car 2 years ago and we're out and a new model came out, we wanted to go look at the new model, we may love the new model of vehicle, but we just bought a car, so we just don't really need one. It still smells new, so we want a new one, but we don't need one. The authority to purchase means that you're dealing with someone who can say yes, and even if you're not dealing with someone who is the decision maker, the decision maker is at least knowledgeable about the opportunity that you're working on. So you might be dealing with an influencer or a coach, but the person that says yes is in the loop on what's going on. So you need to have the authority to purchase at a good to medium level. The ability to purchase. So does someone have the funding or money to purchase what you're selling? And the last one is the genuine intent to purchase. So I may have all those top three categories, but I've already determined that I'm going to purchase from someone else, and I'm just talking to you to get a price. That means I intend to purchase, but I don't have a genuine intent to purchase from you. And that's important to find out, and we'll talk about how to find that out. But that can make the deal not qualified. So basically, as you can see there, if there's a question mark in only one area, it's not a really qualified opportunity or prospect. So let's look at a unqualified prospect, and as we mentioned, they can basically just have one of these, and these four categories are basically the opposite of what we just went through, but they don't really need to purchase what you sell. They don't really have any authority. They're at maybe a manager level, and they can't really sign off on anything. They don't have the ability to purchase, meaning either one thing, they don't have money, so the budget's wiped out and there's no getting additional funds in any creative way, or the ability to purchase might mean that they're tied up in a contract. So they have the money and they want to do something, but they're just locked in. It's like buying a cell phone. You're locked into an agreement and can't do anything for another year. And as we mentioned, there's just no real intent to purchase. Maybe they're window shopping. Maybe they've already determined to buy from someone else. And like I said, a question mark in only one of those areas makes it an unqualified prospect. So let's talk about some examples of common unqualified prospects that you can run into, and this is we'll go through four types, and this is the no need to purchase. So you're dealing with someone, they have the authority to purchase, you're dealing with the VP of a department, they have the ability to purchase, money is available and allocated to this area, They intend to purchase. Their intent with you is genuine. They're not talking to anybody else. You're the only company they're talking to. But in this example, the current system that they have is working okay, or working pretty good, meaning there's no pain. So let's say you sell some sort of software application, and the one that they have was built in-house, and it's working. It doesn't break. It provides some decent functionality. The one that you sell blows the current one out of the water in terms of all these bells and whistles. But you know what? They don't need it, because what they have is working okay and great, or good to great. There's no pain. So this is an example of more of a want. They would love to have what you sell. You're able to get them to a demo. You're able to get a lot of good questions in the meeting. And so this is a good this happens in real life. You get a lot of people in the room. They're asking all good questions and a lot of oohs and ahs, and you think that it's a done deal because of all that. But at the end of the day, did you really explore? Do they really need what we have? How are things going with the current system? Why would they make a change? So